Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are going to be talking about our brand new signing, Gundogan, and then talk about the latest regarding Brozovic and Parejo. So yes, it is true that Gundogan is going to be joining Barcelona for 2 seasons. He will be signing until June 30th, 2025 with an option of extending it for another season. His release clause is going to be 400 million euros, and also Barcelona going to be shortly announcing his presentation very soon. We don't know when it's going to be, but Barcelona are planning on doing that very soon. Gundogan also had a few words to say about this move, and this is what he said. If I was going to move from Manchester City, there's only one club in the world that would make sense. It was Barcelona or nothing. Ever since I was a little kid, I dreamed of wearing this shirt someday. I'm confident that I have a few more years left at the highest level. I just want to help bring Barcelona back to where they deserve to be. It will be a reunion with my old friend Lewandowski, and I'm excited to play under another manager who I have admired for a very long time. When Xavi and I talked about the project, it seemed so natural. I see so many similarities between us as characters and in a way we see the game. There's going to be a lot of pressure at Barcelona, but I love the pressure. I love to get out of my comfort zone, and I was looking for a new challenge. That's what this next chapter is all about. I can't wait to play in this Barcelona shirt. So you can see that Gundogan is coming here with a lot of energy. He really does think that the way that Xavi likes to teach his football is very similar to what he was doing with Pep Guardiola. This is why Gundogan believed that Barcelona was the best fit, and this is why I do say that Barcelona do attract one of the best players in the world. John Laporta said that the biggest players in the world still want to come to FC Barcelona. Why? It is because of what Barcelona stands for, and Gundogan is clarifying that even more. Like Gundogan, knowing his age, right? He's like 32, 33 years old. He could have gone to Saudi Arabia and get paid like around 40 to 50 million euros per season. He could have done that and just say, okay, I'm just going to end it like this, and I'm going to get all this money. I'm just going to go on vacation and enjoy the rest of my life. He could have done that, but he knows that he has a lot in him still, and he thinks that the best step to take would be to join Barcelona to achieve the most success. And I think that Gundogan also sees an opportunity with the midfield that he could play with, like with Pedri, Frankie, and Gavi. If they all connect, they can go a very long way, and they can bring a lot of success to the club. And of course, Gundogan is going to be a big plus for all of the players that he's going to be playing with, because Gundogan is a champion in Europe. He has won the Champions League already. That is something that not just the midfielders did not achieve, but all of the players in the Barcelona squad, except for Lewandowski, literally like almost all of the players in Barcelona have yet to achieve Champions League success, and Gundogan can come into the squad and say, hey, this is what's going to take, this is what we have to do, this is the type of mentality we need to have, and especially in the semifinals and the quarterfinals and in the finals, let's work on doing this. And so again, Gundogan is going to be a huge improvement, and I can't wait to see how Gundogan and Lewandowski can form not just a sporting partnership, but they can form I would say a partnership where they can captain all of the other players. Like this duo here, they can connect very well. I do see them providing a lot of assists, a lot of goals, working together and bonding very well on and off the field. But I think that the most important thing is that Lewandowski and Gundogan can work together and say, hey, look, we have a duty here. We have a big responsibility, and that is to captain a lot of these young players here in Barcelona, because, you know, Lewandowski and Gundogan, they have already won the Champions League. They all know what it takes. And that is why I do say that signing Gundogan is a massive signing. And so at the moment, assuming, right, this is just assuming that if Barcelona do not sign another midfielder, like a top midfielder, I'm talking about like one of those top 5 world-class midfielders, I think that the midfield right now is set. We would be seeing a 4-man midfield that forms a box with Gundogan and Frankie in the double pivot positions, with Pedri and Gavi as interiors. That is it, right? And then we're probably gonna be having other players like Brozovic come in, maybe someone like Stain. We don't know the current plans right now. To be honest, it's not really looking good. But at the moment, if we just sign Gundogan and we just stay with this only midfielder as our brand new signing, it is going to be Gundogan, Frankie, Pedri, and Gavi. Again, we don't know who's going to be staying, who's going to be signed. But let's say, for example, if Kimmich gets signed in about 2 months, like in the dying days of this window, then I would basically switch this whole midfield around. I would probably put Kimmich and Frankie in the double pivot positions with Gundogan and Pedri as interiors, and then having Gavi switch in for either Pedri or Gundogan, which is going to be very much needed. Like you would say that it's probably going to be a bad idea to bench Gavi or to bench Gundogan, to have Gavi and Pedri play together. But I think that those 3 players, Gavi, Pedri, and Gundogan, can really rotate a lot, and they can share all of the minutes, because we're going to be in all competitions next season. So it's going to be mandatory for these players to be benched or to rest for a certain game. And so moving on to the other topic, and I want to speak about Brozovic and Parejo. Now, this is going to be a very strange story, and I'm going to be explaining why. And I'm going to give you guys like the context on the Brozovic operation. So there is a club in Saudi Arabia that wants Brozovic. They're willing to spill a lot of money for this signing. They're ready to pay 23 to 30 million euros to Inter Milan to bring him to Saudi Arabia, and they're also willing to give Brozovic a great salary, maybe around 15 to 20 million euros, or maybe even more. Now, FC Barcelona is also in this picture. Barcelona believes that Brozovic Brozovic would be a great signing, and they also do want to sign him. But obviously, you know Barcelona's financial situation. Barcelona financially are nowhere near where Saudi Arabia is at. Inter Milan, on the other side, right? Inter Milan want to sell as soon as possible. They need funds, and they think that if they can get the highest bidder, they would achieve financial success. They want to sell him for a big amount and for the biggest price possible. Saudi Arabia can do that, but Barcelona cannot. And that is why today we hear that Inter Milan and the club in Saudi Arabia do have a full agreement that they're willing to give Inter Milan 23 to 30 to even, I don't know, like 40 million euros for Brozovic, and Inter Milan are accepting it because they want the money. But Brozovic himself is saying, hold on this operation. I understand that you guys have an agreement, and I understand that if I say yes to Saudi Arabia, everything's going to be done. But I want to hold off on this because I want to listen to the offer of FC Barcelona. And Barcelona obviously cannot give the biggest offer to Brozovic. But the only thing that can attract Brozovic is the sporting project, and to tell him that he is going to be a very important part of our project next season, which is why we still hear that this operation has stalled. Like, Brozovic is still a Inter Milan player. He could be representing a different club right now, but right now, because Barcelona is in this picture, Brozovic is stalling everything. And I do believe that Barcelona have already spoken with the player. It's just that he's trying to make a final decision on what he thinks he should be doing next. Now, Barcelona and Xavi have already told Brozovic that he still has a lot of years left in him, right? They're trying to tell him that it's too early for him to go to Saudi Arabia and leave Europe. He has too many years. Like, look at Gundogan, 32 years old. He's still trying to fight in top European football and give another 3 great years. Brozovic is 30 years old. And that is the thing that they want to tell to the player and say that he still has a place in Europe. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Barcelona is really targeting the players who did play in the previous Champions League final, because they think that if they sign one of the top players that played in the final, Barcelona can gain a lot sportingly because they have experienced what it's like to get to the final, and Barcelona need that type of experience. Now, this is where it gets very strange, right? Because Barcelona's backup as of now, it is Parejo. They believe that if Brozovic, for whatever reason, is not convinced and he just thinks that he should get the most money, go to Saudi Arabia, Barcelona will be looking at Parejo from Villarreal. And that is where things get, again, strange, because I don't think that Parejo is Barcelona level. And you look at his age, he's 34 years old. Like, what are you going to be doing at 34 years old? Like, you're going to give him a 2-year contract to play with us for 2 years and then leave, when that could have been a time for us to grow a defensive midfielder or bring someone younger to bring us short-term success. Parejo right now at 34 is just, he's not really it. And I've seen him make so many mistakes in La Liga that did not really resonate with me very well. I'm like, really? You want to give this player the responsibility to hold the ball and to dictate play? And the worst thing from all of this is that Xavi himself has contacted Parejo personally and said that he should come to Barcelona and to just wait to see what happens in the summer. And I hope that this move does not end up happening and we go for Brozovic. And, you know, gone are the days of Barcelona being interested in Amrabat. I just assume that the agent and whoever's surrounded by Amrabat is telling Barcelona that they want to get around 20 to 30 million euros in commission or something like that, because the fact that Barcelona just let him go out of nowhere, even though we know that Amrabat is probably the best option out of Parejo and Brozovic, is just insane. Like, I don't know what is going on. Is Barcelona's situation financially getting even worse? Could that be another issue, right? Because we still want the top defensive midfielders, which is either Kimmich or Zubimendi, but it seems like that is slowly going away at the moment, which is why we are only talking about Brozovic and Parejo. So ideally, I would want Barcelona to invest all of their money on Kimmich or bring Zubimendi. But if that cannot happen, then yes, Brozovic would be a okay signing. I would say, okay, this is a solid signing. We're okay now. Now let's go into other positions and see what can we strengthen. But with someone like Parejo, that would be a huge L. An L for Xavi, an L for Joan Laporta, and an L for Mateo Alemán, and for everybody in this club. So we'll see what happens, right? I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I just expect much more from this club in this summer and reinforce all areas in a very great way. So that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.